Hi, and welcome to Reflect. Information, thought-provoking questions, suggestions, and perhaps some journal prompts for you for the season of late summer and the earth element. So the season of late summer corresponds with the element of earth. And the earth element actually exists for a short time in between each season and each seasonal transition, and a slightly longer time, but still not as long as another season, in between the transition for summer and autumn. And summer is the time of great expanse, of opening, blooming, of this really high young energy. So it's fiery and it's warm, it's all about doing. When we move into autumn, this energy starts to decrease and yin energy starts to rise. So our yin energy is much more cooling and calming. It's more passive, more about being. So the earth element is really important time for mind, for body, for soul. It's a time for grounding, for harvesting, and thinking about how we can nourish ourselves now in preparation for the darker and cooler times of autumn and winter that are approaching. So as I've said, it's a shorter season, so it's not quite as long as traditional spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But it is a really important one. So it's asking us to seek and create balance between doing and being. So take a moment to reflect on those concepts or those words of being and doing. And where do you feel that you sit at this moment? So maybe you're just reflecting on today or the past week. So our Slowdown September has been going for a week now. This is day 7. Well done if you've joined. So where are we sitting in being and doing? And at the moment, we are having unusually warm weather. I don't know if you've noticed. So the yang energy is naturally high. And it's important to think about whether we're taking time to rest, to just be, and even whether we're nourishing ourselves in terms of food, but also hydration. So what can deplete the earth element? All elements can be depleted by excessive stress, overworking, overthinking. So this is particularly true, though, of the earth element, because this is the element that is asking us to slow down, and it's also connected to the digestive system. So, of course, we probably think, how can we get away from overworking, overthinking, from stresses? So perhaps take a moment to think about what stresses there are in your life, what work patterns you currently have. And could any of these be changed slightly, or is change afoot as you move into autumn? Are there certain commitments or situations that you could pause or that might be dropped or even moved down the priority list so you can take a little bit more time for you? And in terms of nourishment, in warmer weather, it's important, according to traditional Chinese medicine, which is something that I study and I teach to a certain extent, to eat right and eat the foods that are higher in water content, so therefore they can hydrate us. So off the top of my head, I'm thinking watermelon and cucumber, because I love both of those things and I've been eating a lot of them. So maybe that's what we're doing right now. We're eating kind of fresher, lighter foods, which would be the good decision when it's warmer weather. But as we move into autumn and it becomes a bit cooler, things start to slow, then cold and raw foods are generally advised in moderation. So these can create damp within our system, which can lead to dis-ease in the system. And it's also advised in any season, really, to eat regular meals. So even if you're eating little and often, and take a moment now to reflect on your diet and nutrition. So without judgment, without criticism, this isn't what our reflection time is for. It's for just bringing awareness, bringing us back to center, to have a think about things that perhaps when we're so busy in the doing phases, we're not really taking it in or thinking about it. So are you regularly nourishing yourself and nourishing yourself well? And that's not to say, don't eat the cake, don't have chocolate, these kind of things. Traditional Chinese medicine, and even if you're familiar with Ayurveda, these are not directing you to only eat certain things and only what constitutes health. It's about balance and about moderation, and that's with everything. So that takes us on to our next point. So the earth element empowering us to find or seek out, create balance, unity, harmony. So perhaps take a moment to reflect with gratitude on anything that brings these qualities into your life. And then maybe a moment to reflect on what may not be bringing these qualities into your life. And if that becomes a little bit tricky, then my suggestion would be take a seat. If you're not already seated, you could even lay down, get some contact with the earth, bring the hands to the heart space or maybe to the belly, gently blink the eyes closed, sit tall. Nice deep breath in through the nose and gently sigh out of the mouth. Let the shoulders release. Take one more, breathing in and breathing out. And as autumn approaches, nature demonstrates the beauty of letting go and letting go in kindness. So perhaps we follow nature's lead with anything or anyone that doesn't bring us harmony. What might we want to or need to let go of? The earth element also empowers us to turn inward, find our center, be led by our intuition, our heart, and not be led astray by the needs, the thoughts, the desires, the opinions, all of these things of others that can be loud. So take a moment to reflect on this. Are you being your own best friend, championing yourself, your uniqueness, or falling into the crowd or echo chamber? And again, reflect without judgment or without criticism, and thinking about how you might refine center if needs be. What does that look and what does that feel like for you? What steps might you take? How can we nourish the earth element then? So we've already mentioned through nourishing foods, regular meals, but as well as the kind of physical digestion, also emotional or mental digestion. So giving yourself time to digest emotionally or mentally. Maybe that's time to process change or transition, even just the seasonal change or transition. So as often people will suffer from different ailments or diseases during seasonal transitions. And this may be coincidental. This could be that we're thinking about our connection being lost with the seasons and transitioning. We're not kind of thinking about doing and being this yin and yang energy. So connecting to nature is a great way. Giving yourself time to digest, even life events. Sometimes big things happen, important things happen in our lives, and due to necessity or due to that's what we feel is the best thing for us to do right there and then, and perhaps it is, we just rush on, we carry on without giving ourselves time to digest. Some things we can come back to and digest later. Using grounding practices. So, of course, I'm going to say yoga. Yoga is a winner all year round. But adapting your practice will help. So seeking balance through a physical yoga practice could look like some days I'm going to my energized classes, I'm building strength and suppleness in my body. Some days I'm balancing that with my begin or my relaxed classes. So we're not all go, go, go. Even just gentle stretching. And this is going to help to strengthen the major muscle groups as well. Shaking and dancing, so that kind of idea of just shaking it all off, dancing for joy. Mindfulness and meditation practices, allowing you to turn inwards, to pause, to reflect, and learn to explore what nourishes you, what brings you peace and harmony, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Do more of that. Sounds simple, but do more of that. Invest more in that. So take some time, if you wish, to replay this, pause when necessary. You might journal or write notes. You might even make a vision board if that's what feels right for you. And there's no rush if you feel like, oh, there's some changes here that maybe I might move forward with. Think about that balance. So you don't have to rush ahead, full steam ahead, and go, right, I'm going to change this and this and this. Small steps, manageable steps. So don't forget to check out our other practices. Slowdown September practices are all in mind right now, slowing down, nourishing ourselves, finding that middle path, that balance. But we also have a whole array of other practices, all free on Yoga Borne YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.